All right, so um, let's take a look at what we did last time. We just created a text box, a canvas. This text box we attach this play script to, and when we press play, it just loads up the name Super Awesome Level. I'm actually just going to pause the video and jump between scripts. I'm on a laptop, so it's a little bit small. When I get to my desktop with my widescreen, we'll do the side by side. So let's go ahead and open up our script. All right, so what we're going to learn about in this video is methods. And methods are really just a block of code like this that are used to perform a specific task. A lot of times people like to talk to them as like little machines that have a specific purpose. I like to think of them that way. So, for example, good coding sort of dictates that your methods, your scripts have a single responsibility. So, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create a method. Let's get rid of this update function for a second. And generally, just like the variables here where it has public text mesh pro, it has sort of a signature. So let's say we want to make a public method and it's not going to return or do any sort of math. So we're going to say void here, public void. And the name of our method is going to be print level name. Now, what we're doing here is we're going to call print level name. And inside of this, we're going to use it to actually do this, use it as a way to print out the name of our level, which is awesome level, right? So the way we do this is there's two parts to essentially the basics of a method. You can you do the method creation. So let's go ahead and take this line here. I'm going to hold Alt and just go down in here, Alt and down arrow, and that's what moves it. So notice this is gray, which means we've never called it. We've just created it. So all this method does is it prints to the TextMesh Pro object our level name, which is awesome level. The thing behind this is if I save this, I'm going to go ahead and save this, and I'm just going to, by hitting Control S, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to press play. Notice that our method name doesn't change. It just stays as new text. And the reason for that is the second part of this is calling our method. And the way you call a method is you grab its name here. You'll sometimes hear it called a signature. And I'm just going to put a semicolon here just to close off that statement. So what this does is this is what calls our method. So it's called here. And then once this is called, it executes on whatever code is inside of here. So I'm consistently pressing Control S to save it. So now I'm going to go ahead and press play. Now you can see that what it did is it called awesome level, which is what this is storing up here. Now there's other things you can do inside of a level method, and that's we can pass parameters, right? So for instance, I can go inside of here and I can make a new string and I can call this new level name. Now notice when I hit Control S to save this, I get an error here because we have a parameter here called string new level name. And what that means is I have to pass some sort of information in here to go inside of my I have to pass information here that's going to be passed into this parameter that we can use inside of our method. So for example, if I say, hey, you know what? I'm going to pass into here a new level name, and I can type this out, right? Because it takes a string. So I'm going to put a quote here, and I'm going to say new level name. But I want to show you something. Notice that we're not using this variable. We're still using level name here. So let's go ahead and save this and see what happens. And remember, this I'm calling my method here, and I'm passing a new level name here. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and press play. Notice that we still get awesome level. And the reason for that is because, let's try that one more time, a couple times so you can see that, is because we're calling the method, right? We're just not using this parameter here, right? So let's change level name here to new level name. So I'm going to change this. So in theory, what should happen is the words new level name will be stored in here, and then it's going to be printed out here. That variable is going to be printed to the screen. So what we're looking for this time is new level name. So I'm going to go ahead and press play. And you notice it says new level name here. So it updated my new level name just like that. All right, that's pretty cool. So that's essentially a method call. So we're calling a method and we're passing in a parameter. We could also pass in something like this. Because this variable is of type string, I can actually just pass in that name, level name here, and level name, this variable here, will store the contents in this string, and then it's going to take that, place it inside of new level. So we're just printing it here, we're sending it here, we're just passing in information all the way down the line from up awesome level. So in theory, at this point, our Text Mesh Pro object should print to the screen this text awesome level. So let's see if that happens when we press play. So let it reload our code. And now you can see awesome level is there. All right, so you might be wondering, all right, that's pretty cool. Well, there's actually one more thing. Notice this void here. This void can be used to do certain computation, right? Or so we can do certain things to the print things. So for instance, if I change void to string, we're going to get an error down here. And this error is really just is because we need to have a return type. So if I do return, and then I need to return some sort of string. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to actually just comment this line out here. And I'm just going to return some text. So I'm going to say return level name, level name from method. We'll go that route. All right. Now you might be wondering, okay, cool, but you're not applying this Text Mesh Pro anywhere. How are you going to do this? Well, what's cool about this is wherever this print level name method can now be called, I can actually just do something like this. I can say Text Mesh Pro, we'll just call this from start, dot text equals print level name. So now what's going to happen is it's going to return this value. And let's actually, just so that we don't complicate things, I'm going to delete that parameter. And let's delete this here. So we have this variable here, and I'm going to delete this too, just to kind of make sure everything looks clean. We have a start method, and this is called at the very beginning. And what we're going to do is we're going to return this variable. So because we created, instead of void, we created a data type of string, this can now return information. And the information we're going to return is this level name from method, right? So I'm going to save this. And let's see if level name from method now prints to the screen, because we're making this, the information that's inside of here, equal to this method name. So I'm going to go ahead and press play. And you can see level name from method. Alternatively, you could create a string variable inside of here and just call this level name and make it equal to, food level. Let's say that's the name of our level. And I can grab this level name here, and I can just take out that text, and I can just make this variable, which is of type string, which is this here, the level name. So now when I save this, it'll call this, and it should store food level or print food level to this text. So let's save that. Let's go back here and let's press play. Now you can see food level updated. So those are really just a couple of the ways, and it's sort of the most of the ways you'll ever use a method inside of Unity. And that's kind of like the basics of methods. Now, as you do these precursor ones and you do other tutorials on the internet, the more ways that you're sort of hitting your brain with these different coding concepts, you'll start to see patterns that are repetitive. If you start looking at doing a little bit of coding on your own in pure C# or inside of Unity and using it as a way of displaying that stuff, you'll start to see that these patterns will help you to better understand coding. Yeah, just keep working, and I'm hoping you enjoy these as we go along.